Let's face it, we live in the digital age. Most of us spend a few hours a day scrolling or browsing the internet. That's why it's so important to stay protected when you're online. You got websites tracking your movement, scammers trying to steal your money, and evildoers looking to send you nasty malware. Thankfully, with today's sponsor, NordVPN, worrying about all that is a thing of the past. That's right, on top of being my favorite VPN provider, NordVPN is now an all-in-one digital security app that helps secure your devices. It's such a game changer for CinemaSins. You all wouldn't believe the number of times someone has tried to send us some sketchy attachments or dubious links, only to be thwarted by Nord's powerful antivirus tools. Plus, we've been using the VPN to help us watch movies that are geo-blocked for years now because it's the best. Plus, if you're traveling like me this summer, having a trusted partner like Nord is crucial to protecting your data when on public Wi-Fi or being able to access content from your home country. If you want online peace of mind, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get started. Plus, Nord offers 24-hour customer service if you need it and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So why not give them a shot? Click the link in the description or go to nordvpn.com/CinemaSins VPN to get an exclusive NordVPN offer plus 4 extra months risk-free thanks to Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Comcast, we have officially entered an era where production companies are measuring their logo dicks instead of letting each other finish. Back off, Universal. It might be a moon, but Spielberg's is bigger. Since the long past days of the 1970s, I have never been able to appreciate this style of title, because I'm immediately distracted by trying to guess the word before it appears. Social is closure? Damn it, I know you're riffing on Alien. Just get on with it. Thoughts and prayers to anyone who saw this in IMAX or 4DX. There are so many subtle ways to communicate this movie's core message that humanity can't help but fight itself at every opportunity. And then there's opening with a pro wrestling match because subtlety is for nerds, and this movie ain't no nerd.
Let the backpack slip off next time everyone stands.
Doing a shady handoff in a public place is smart. Doing a shady handoff in a public place and then pulling a gun when your row of seats is fully exposed to said public place is not.
7.23.48.83 through 3.14.84a.
Excitement? If the plan was to bring him to this back alley for the rest of the handoff, why waste any amount of time and money buying tickets for and then attending the fight? That metaphor wasn't that good.
Well, this is all rather disappointing.
Coming to a rash conclusion a mere 3 minutes into the movie. Sorry, coming to a rash but ultimately correct conclusion a mere 3 minutes into the movie.
It's here.
The pronoun game, sir, it never left. It never does. It knows all. It sees all. What does it see and know? We don't know. But it does and is and forever will be.
Where is it?
He's talking about an advanced piece of alien technology that Daniel has hidden on his person, which makes me wonder why they chose to hand over the hostage before they made sure they had the most important thing they were hostaging her for in the first place.
Do not fire. If you fire, it could activate the device.
Waiting this long to share things that absolutely should have been shared in the pre-mission briefing. Also, we'll learn that this discount sonic screwdriver is only really a danger to the person touching it. Never again will shooting at or near it be considered a problem.
And it almost killed me. Now place the device.
Hold up. What was that weird cut? The camera's approaching Daniel and then it suddenly skips a few feet. I only noticed it because the dialogue from Colin Firth's character is completely uninterrupted, despite these 3 agents back here being in completely different positions. Weird choice, but does it affect my enjoyment of the movie? No. Actually, yes.
I should do to you what you did to them.
Is it to continue playing the pronoun game for an insufferable amount of time? Because I didn't kidnap your girlfriend, Dan, and yet I'm feeling very targeted.
History doesn't have a reset key.
Lessons deemed unlearnable by the MCU and DCU. Up until this point, I can buy being careful around the alien gadget, but why aren't they following him? They didn't drop it. They go back to base and just start tracking him from there instead. Letting him just leave at this point feels more about having a story to tell than effectively completing a mission. Movie will occasionally cut to a behind-the-scenes documentary covering how Backrooms was made, which is weird because this came out way before Backrooms, and it doesn't look anything like it.
You gotta get secure for the night. Has to be somewhere I've never been before in my life.
I know a place close to here.
Having a girlfriend who failed at becoming a nun but is still on good enough terms with the monastery to use them as a no-questions-asked safe house is mighty serendipitous. This huge IMAX screen of news reports and data is impressive in its ability to be a confusing blur of videos no one in the room could possibly see, filled with text no one could possibly read.
12 no-shows here today.
Couldn't we have saved some data center hydration and just showed the 12 people right away, instead of going through the song and dance of the computer picking them out from the entire staff?
Kellner has a doctorate in theoretical and applied cybersecurity, and he spent the better part of 8 years safeguarding high-side data. So what does that tell us about him?
Nothing you shouldn't already know, but it does tell the audience that he is a big old nerd!
Hugo Wakefield didn't show up for work this morning.
Come on, movie. How am I supposed to know who this Hugo chap is or what he looks like? Spell it out for me. No need to be subtle about it. Just tell me, damn it.
Second device is missing from deep storage.
How did he not open with this? Sure, the 12 missing employees is suspicious, but the missing alien artifact can't be explained by collective food poisoning. Hugo's personal history section shows that he has been in some kind of law or law-adjacent field most of his life, making him an odd choice for Director of Biological Assets. Director of Biological Burdens would be far more appropriate for a lawyer. Driving directly across the lawn of your monastery safe house is a bad way to lay low in the eyes of the law and God, Danny.
How do you know they'll answer it?
That's what we do.
Not if the monastery has reached its legally mandated maximum occupancy limit. That would be irresponsible, and I would have respected that dedication to the reality of fire codes. The point is, this blanket statement will end up being true, but I disapprove of the blind confidence with which it was delivered.
The Monsignor has finally surrendered to sneakers.
Teasing me with a possessed sneakers subplot that the movie will fail to deliver on. Guess I'll have to wait for the next Conjuring outing.
Whatever you have done, you must hold yourself accountable. But leave Jane out of it.
Hold up, sister. How does she know Jane isn't the troublemaker? It's actually kind of sexist to assume Daniel is dragging her along his trail of disrepute. Jane is equally equipped to be an irresponsible ne'er-do-well as much as any man, Sister Maura.
You were a nun?
We've had sex. What do you think?
Implying that one should always be able to tell if the person you're being intimate with has ever been a nun. I don't think a tattoo down there is as standard issue as the wimple. I feel like the nuns here should or would have had some kind of objection to these two living in sin under their monastic roof.
You wanted to be a nun, but what, you lost your faith?
I lost my calling.
Semantics.
How long have you worked for these people?
They're doing a quid pro quo of questions, and this is the second most important question she has? The f*** does it matter? Ask what he stole. Ask what the f***ing gadget is that had Mr. Darcy and his goons sh**ing their combined britches. Who the f*** cares about Dan's resume being up to date? Not f***ing you, Jane.
I did 19 months in Petersburg for cyber crimes.
The fact that he was mad at her for hiding her nonism while simultaneously hiding the fact that he was in federal prison for 2 years might be completely consistent with his personality, but it is also completely consistent with me not liking him.
Vortex recruited me straight out of the parking lot the day I was released.
Recruiting Daniel after he's free just means they have zero leverage over a man who's 2 years out of practice and wasn't good enough at the thing they need him to do to not get caught doing it in the first place.
I keep secrets for a living. I didn't mean to keep them from you.
I didn't mean to not tell you I went to prison because my job makes me bad at truthing is certainly a flex.
What I stole, it belongs to 8 billion people.
And yet, you seem pathologically and plotologically incapable of sharing it with the one person you have access to. Spill the f***ing alien tea already, Dan. In case you confused it with Kansas City, Kansas. Also Missouri.
It's gonna mass condense it like crazy.
Trust the Brit to get this excited about a mass condescension. What? Don't condense to me. I know words.
It's good. That's really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Maggie seems to be irritated by this generic assessment, even though the person she's asking to judge her has no professional background in newscasting and a vested interest in still being permitted to have night-night fun time with her.
Get weather power.
Movie has time for this.
I think we should move.
Again.
Choosing to move to Missouri and then not jumping at the chance to move again. Pretending that this bread resembles anything close to sufficiently toasted. It's been in there for less than 40 seconds, which isn't nearly enough time to guarantee the structural integrity required for butter spreading or crunchitude. This is the equivalent of fake sipping a clearly empty Starbucks cup, except this time I can clearly see how unfucking toasted the bread is. Fucking movies, man. Whole world's gone to shit.
When did you learn Russian?
This is as far as his questioning will go. He will just let her go to work, instead of telling her to stop a fucking second and explain how weird it was that she suddenly started speaking Russian and appeared to have no awareness of doing so. At best, this is a stroke, and she probably shouldn't be driving a vehicle.
Oh God, I gotta go. I'm late.
She started making breakfast at 6:40, sat down at 6:45, meaning she never had a chance to get anything close to finished with her clearly uncooked bread.
Anna, those things she said to you this morning, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it.
Imagine you're this cop. You pull over a lady for speeding. She ends up being a famous local weather person. She then shares personal and specific insights to your home life, upbringing, and fears of fatherhood. She then leaves. Do you A, immediately let her go with no attempt to give chase? Or do you B, hunt her ass down while calling an exorcist? There are no wrong answers except A.
We are in the most dangerous hours our nation has faced.
Thinking we won't care that you're news positioning at us just because we're getting it from the sauce.
Very generous of you to show up 3 minutes before
Cannot
you're
be
on.
avoided. This
No, you know what?
That traffic stop cost you exactly 2 minutes and 16 seconds. I very much doubt that arriving 5 minutes and 16 seconds before you were supposed to go live would have made him any happier, Margaret.
Get off her.
Get off her.
Okay,
Cut
take it to
away.
camera.
Taking this long to cut away from someone who was clearly having a panic attack or mild seizure.
Little dogs, you have learned what we know when we know it.
Mixing tenses in a way that is unbecoming of an Englishman.
Let's get an azimuth check here.
Do not open the aperture on that.
Dirt.
I almost chalked up a bonus round for all the unnecessary fluffy wording that goes on in this movie. Dropping inventory, azimuth checks, opening the aperture. I abandoned it because I was one pretentious metaphor away from opening my aperture and eating my own brain.
We have a dialect sample in the archives.
Yes, and it matched.
How did this conversation not start with, hey, this lady in Kansas City is speaking the one alien language we know, sir. I think that's relevant.
What's going on with me? That just doesn't make sense.
Well, have you been under a lot of stress lately?
Thinking stress can explain spontaneously learning 3 new languages and the ability to read minds. The only thing more insane than that would be if Maggie hasn't shared those specific symptoms yet.
I think I need help getting to the bathroom.
Maggie seems relieved that there's another door here, so what was her plan if this was just a regular one-entrance bathroom? Look, I know she can read minds, but how likely is it that the doctor was at that precise moment thinking, man, I wish my bathroom back home had multiple doors just like the one in this patient's room?
Who's the guy with Nixon?
Big TV star in the 50s.
The fact that Nixon was showing TV stars alien bodies back in the 1970s undermines the idea that we got all the way to 2026 without it being exposed to the entire world at some point by some other dumbass. Probably Reagan. Also, Nixon pulling Nixon shit aside, look at all these people that work here. Now expand this operation to other locations and across the 79 years since Roswell in 1947. You're talking about thousands and thousands of people that have been involved in this cover-up, and not a single one until Daniel had decided to, or succeeded in, leaking it. By the way, all members of the same species that can't agree we've been to the moon.
Are they children?
Are they f***ing what now? This is a wild question to ask unless "are they children" is being followed by "of the corn," "of Mars," or "of f***ing aliens."
Are they people?
No.
Shit like this is why the aliens hate us, Daniel.
Is he an experiencer? You can't dive on them.
I actually appreciate not being spoon-fed the meaning of the clearly established lingo in this movie. It makes me feel smart and appreciated as a being of intelligence, which makes me uncomfortable and suspicious, which makes me miss the spoon-feeding.
Pull the data on the girlfriend.
The computer instinctively knew that Noah wanted a larger image of Jane, even though it meant pulling up a completely different image instead of just zooming in on the one that's already there.
It has the highest level of military and private sector classification in American history.
You mean to say the existence of aliens and alien technology is being kept secret? Get the f*** out of here.
Presidents are civilians again after 8 years, so there's no longer a reason to read them in on any of this.
Expecting me to believe that the flow of information given to a president can be changed based on their competence and work ethic might be the biggest leap into speculative fiction this movie ever makes.
I was a part of all that until I saw what you just saw.
What exactly was he a part of? I think he's implying that there was a time he knew aliens existed but didn't realize they were being interrogated, a level of naivete that is hard to justify given, well, all of recorded human history.
Full disclosure to the whole world, all at once.
Apart from the poor bastards who are asleep or don't have access to a radio or television, those squares.
People will see them as deities. They'll stop believing in a god.
Yes, because when people are faced with new facts, they, without fail, no matter how complicated the topic, always change their opinion to match those facts. A self-evident truth held across the circumference of this flat earth of ours. Also, thinking that the arrival of aliens will stop people believing in God shows an extreme lack of faith in, well, how faith works.
I could no longer say with certainty that God is divine.
Missing the fact that certainty and religion make for kinky but awkward bedfellows. Also, I feel like Spielberg wanted to kick off a pretty nuanced debate here about how faith interacts with science, a debate that's pretty unbalanced when one side doesn't require a burden of proof.
He's how we define ourselves. He's what keeps whole civilizations together.
Having a character be this ignorant of the many, many, many unsubtle examples of World War III newsposition around them. This is why Netflix thinks we're dumb, Jane.
We've been raised to believe in a supreme being, and now you want to show us actual supreme beings?
But she has no idea whether they're supreme beings or not. All she knows for certain is that they can die in a spaceship crash and are dumb enough to be captured and tortured by the evolved apes in charge of this planet. But I'm not blaming Jane. It's not her fault that this summer blockbuster showed us a couple of corpses, hoped we'd remember a few episodes of The X-Files, and then dove straight into a theological debate about the strength of religious conviction in the face of extraterrestrial life, all while the Super Mario Galaxy movie kicks its ass at the box office. I'm rooting for you, Stevie, but damn it, throw us a bone.
People can't handle both.
Continuing to think you're qualified to speak on behalf of 8 billion people.
I've been waiting a very long time to meet you, Miss Fairchild.
For someone who very much needs Maggie to save the world, Hugo appears to go out of his way to come off as a creepy stalker at every opportunity.
Who is this?
A friend.
And if I'm right about you, Margaret, you'd know if I wasn't.
And if I'm not right, it's World War III for everyone, but I do love to gamble.
You're not hearing it? It's perfectly clear. Have you played this to other people? Stay with me.
Daniel has every right to be frustrated here, and since Daniel already knows about aliens, there's no reason to not tell him what he just heard was an alien language. Hugo seems to just enjoy being a mysterious bastard no matter how much it puts everything at risk.
There's always been just the two of you.
This revelation is punctuated by a sudden and spontaneous crop circle. Not entirely sure why, other than it being the only chapter in the big book of alien cliches that we haven't given lip service to yet. Oh, I am entirely sure why. While we're talking about cliches, it really is wild how X-Files coded this movie is. We have the religious character who's skeptical of aliens in Jane. Daniel is Mulder, convinced that the truth is out there and the world deserves to know, with the smoking man essentially being split into Coleman Domingo and Colin Firth's characters, likely an acknowledgement that no one body could have absorbed that much nicotine and survived 11 seasons. Noah takes control of Jane's body and decides to A. perfect his Black Swan audition, B. take advantage of a rare opportunity to Fitz and the Tantrums IRL, C. play a patented game of Joey Tribbiani's this hand is your hand, this hand is my hand, or D. all of the above.
Hello, Jane.
Since Noah can't dive on Daniel, there's no way Noah could have known that he wasn't in the house right now and watching Jane freak out as she holds a conversation with Deneé. Forgive me for assuming that might have been problematic. A buddy of mine said, I think I like Disclosure Day, but Colin Firth is doing some weird shit in that movie, and I can't think of a better review. Jane stumbles across the exact way to short-circuit this body-snatching, diving stuff almost immediately, and yet she still finds herself questioning the divinity of God. Maybe she's realizing that he's only as divine as the writers need him to be.
I remember St. Clair from my Sunday school. She was in two places at once, like me.
Jane attending a monastery with a patron that just happens to relate to this exact sci-fi situation, and Noah somehow pulling that fact out of his ass from his days at Sunday school is the most compelling evidence for the existence of God this movie will produce.
I don't like you.
Not required.
CinemaSins.
What did it say?
Sykesville.
Hugo knows what this alien device is capable of, and yet he's done the pissiest of piss-poor job preparing his team for being dove on. Hugo hasn't mentioned this being an issue once. If he had, Santiago would have known to blindfold their asses for the whole trip.
Jane, could you stop him if you had to?
Wasting time on questions that don't matter since you're the one who'll be controlling her when it comes to stopping him. This is like asking her passenger if they're willing to obey all the stop signs.
Left to right. Stop that. Get up. Walk to the counter. Pull out the chopping knife.
The same goal could have been accomplished more quickly by simply saying, get a knife, Jane. Instead of activating her T-800 search mode programming.
Give me your phone.
Why, so you can throw it out the window again?
I'm actually amazed Hugo didn't tell them to do just that in the first place. If Wardex can't track her, then it's not a big leap to start tracking her boyfriend.
Daniel Kellner.
Oh my God, Daniel Kellner.
Dare I say that Wyatt Russell could do this all day, and I'd be very happy.
Who is this?
Do not go back to the house.
Daniel will completely ignore this warning and go right back to the house. Either the aliens should have possessed someone better at convincing people, or, wait, why aren't they just possessing Daniel too? Hiding behind a fence that is 87% air. No one who is hunting rogue Daniels for a living hears this noise and decides to investigate it. The stakes are pretty high here, so why doesn't Daniel leave the bag somewhere in the neighboring forest? At least if he's caught, the data doesn't go down with him, and based on how quickly the copy of Playboy that my buddy Tony found in the woods spread around our high school, it might be the most efficient method of getting the information out anyway. If this irritatingly unlocked door is anything to go by, I'm stunned Wardex has been able to keep a singular Werther's original under wraps for 79 years.
What am I doing?
I don't know, but driving directly into this tree as if it had the inclination or will to step out of the way wouldn't be my first choice. Daniel blindly driving this car through the house and into the living room is giving an energy of she might not believe in God, but let's see if God believes in her. Daniel somehow manages to pick up a 14-second lead, which gives him the time to grab Jane and shove her in the car, meaning every single one of these ass clowns were out of their vehicles and unprepared to give immediate chase. Deus Ex crash into you, nah. Yeah, f that side mirror. They'll definitely give themselves up now. I hope the movie is holding receipts for how many ridiculous happenstances are helping Dan and Jane escape every single time they need it most. Oh shoot, that's my job.
It wasn't you. It was Scanlan.
Reminding me that my time would be better spent watching an altogether more sexy Scanlan with similar magic powers.
The device.
Okay, someone update the days since last dumbass touched the alien device with their bare hand board. So close to beating our record. Every single one of these presumably well-trained agents takes it as gospel that they both drove off the cliff and couldn't have possibly staged the crash and hidden behind literally the first rock in sight.
You know what's wrong with you?
is that you think there's something wrong with me.
Movie accidentally stumbles upon the actual reason the world struggles to get along. And by the world, I mean the internet. No lie, these noodles are my go-to snack of choice for any given disaster. And if you buy them in bulk, they work out at 15 cents a cup. And with a shelf life of approximately forever, there is zero chance any would be left on the shelf during any toilet paper hoarding level apocalypse. Them's are just the facts.
It's science.
Math.
Why Kansas City?
Best to focus on getting you there tomorrow.
These phone calls with Hugo are so full of conversational dead ends that I don't know why he doesn't communicate with them via carrier pigeon.
And when the time is right, everything will become clear.
Writing checks this movie will refuse to cash. I'm all for a solid pun. Truly, they're worth waking up for. But why is DI separated from the ANA? In Diana works much better as a motel pun. Right? Come on, people. I'm jonesing for an answer here. Daniel realizes that Jane could be Ultroned again and hides any visible clues about where they are, except the literal paper he's been writing on, like a dumbass. Colin, how's the peeping? Colin, how's the peeping? Firthy. Since they're not actually the police, I feel like the flashing lights are an unnecessary self-exposure.
This is all I got.
You're coming, right?
He is not, which is weird because there was plenty of time for him to follow her through the window. The only thing stopping him was the movie's desire for a needless sacrifice to spice up the pacing. Also, the fact that the Wardex goons just assumed this motel was too cheap to possibly have windows on the backsides of their rooms was a monumental oversight. In case you confused it with Excelsior NX 2000. Nerds. Also, Missouri.
You're going to tell me the name of every Confederate at Wardex.
Asking Daniel for information that Noah already has and has been displayed on the Jumbotron back at HQ.
What's their day code?
Kentucky Philly.
It's very suspicious that you look exactly like one of the two people we're hunting, and whose image would have absolutely been shared with me, but you got the day code right, so my hands are tied. I know walking like you belong is a genuine phenomenon, but she's not meandering into a f***ing AMC theater without paying. She's rushing into a cabin that has the governor inside interrogating the civilian he just kidnapped. Someone should at least be manning the door, right? Well, I bet the next order of business after all this is done will be making sure the guard station at the front gate has one of these newfangled fancy TV boxes.
What did you see?
My wife.
Okay, she pulled some crazy Jedi mind tricks, but we seem to be cool now, meaning it's totally fine to lock down the base and chase them, right? Like, put on some earplugs, avoid eye contact, and stop them? Boss? Hello? Just gonna let them leave again? Aces.
What is she?
Unstoppable.
Damn it, man, mine was better. Also, unstoppable feels like a bold thing to say when I doubt this emotionally manipulative mind trick works on a well-maintained Glock or ICBM. It is deeply unsettling to my mind palace that he took the bottom right ammo clip, top right gun, but top left set of keys.
Bird flew in through my window.
Was it a cardinal?
Holy shell, you're freaking me the f out.
I just want to over-explain why this is such a hilarious exchange, but most of it is just in the delivery. Love Emily Blunt.
I lost every friend I ever had because I couldn't stand to be around people.
Until I met Jane.
Movie will never explain what made Jane specifically so special. Just, vibes and shit.
What happened to us?
Pulling these shenanigans instead of just shooting this definitely not bulletproof Alfa Romeo while you have the chance. It's like he said, how often are you chasing someone and they stop right next to a train track right as the train is coming? Come on, I can't pass this up. It's so cinema. Boyd fires exactly 5 shots before running out, suggesting that the person in charge of organizing the guns and ammo is getting paid a lot more than whoever's in charge of making sure the ammo is fully stocked.
Hello, Hugo.
If Noah could dive on Hugo all along, why has he waited until now? In fact, why didn't he dive on any of the other 11 people he knows didn't show up for work today? I'd be diving on Coleman Domingo all day. Wait.
They regard empathy as an evolutionary advantage.
The aliens value empathy above all else, meaning their gravest error was saving us jumped-up apes instead of helping those adorable otters who hold hands while they sleep. On the other hand, if they're looking for empathy, thank they didn't find the cats first.
And is your bleeding heart why you helped it escape 5 years ago?
Hugo did such an incredible job of helping the alien escape that he didn't get found out for 5 years. Can't imagine how he pulled this off. And since we never find out, I'm guessing the movie couldn't either.
We lost her and almost immediately were lost to me.
It apparently took an entire writer's room, months of work to come up with the villain for this movie. Work that was apparently thrown out and replaced with somebody English dead wife.
The archive Kellner stole is a virus against which the world has zero immunity.
Immunity often comes down to exposure of some kind or another, meaning Noah is disregarding the cultural impact of Star Trek, Star Wars, The X-Files, Doctor Who, Babylon 5, and most significantly, Mork and Mindy.
Pull up the 12 who didn't show up to work yesterday. And 8 faces who are with him right now.
Surely they're all with him, though. He's staging a house for Maggie on what must be a pretty need-to-know basis. What the else are the other 11 doing if they're not helping with the task of preventing World War III?
Ken.
Nathan Twinning, Hugo's chief aide.
You couldn't have at least started with this right-hand guy?
Jane? Where are you, Jane?
Jane makes the insane decision to call the monastery, which is, of course, being monitored, just in case Jane or Daniel decide to. What? They're not monitoring the monastery? Why don't the bad guys want to win?
Because Genesis says that we're his supreme creation, but do you think it's possible that...
On Earth.
How in the fancy did she work out Jane is talking about aliens based on that? This is exactly what she needs to hear in this exact moment. Meaning maybe Sister Moore was God this entire time, which I don't think is the point anyone behind this movie was trying to make.
No! Stop! No! Daniel!
Santiago deciding to have fun with Dan and Mags instead of coming out first so they don't freak the out of being kidnapped. Also, since she didn't know they were the good guys, why didn't Maggie pull some of that emotional mental kung fu on them?
I know him. He's a friend from work.
Gotta check it real quick. Make sure nobody's in there with you.
I mean, sure, they're clear now, but what's stopping Noah from dropping back at any point after they've been scanned? They clearly don't know they're experiencers, likely because the movie isn't quite sure what one of those is either. Also, can't you just blindfold them anyway? I mean, what were they gonna do if they did detect Noah in there? Leaving them on the side of the road?
Can't think about fire trucks. Everyone gets the hell out of your way.
The same goes for private ambulances, and they're a lot less likely to be pulled over when someone spots them and thinks, hey, I work for the KCFD, and that is not one of our f***ing trucks.
Why won't you look at me?
Because you're the guy.
I'm the guy.
This is the guy.
I'm the guy.
No one will be seated as Maggie takes a tour through her childhood home for the this is exactly why this movie is 2.5 hours long sometime.
And imbued you so you could understand us.
But they did it 30 years ago because they're tricksy little f***ers who love nothing more than a slow burn mystery instead of getting to the point. Also, imagine landing in America, being kidnapped and tortured for decades, and then still being naive enough to hope the next American you meet doesn't grow to be just as shitty. I mean, New Zealand exists too. Scotland's got golf.
I sang my song.
Maggie is humming One Day My Prince Will Come, and Disney trying to backdoor another live-action remake of Snow White into Disclosure Day is a hate crime that we shall not let slide on this channel. There's clearly a lot of religious allegory and imagery in this movie, but damn it, I haven't got a saintly clue what this ring that is perfectly placed above Maggie's head could possibly mean. Hello? Can anyone help me?
They present as animals to calm us.
Yeah, it's because the prevailing wisdom when trying to calm a 10-year-old is to have them imagine that a giant f***ing antlered deer has suddenly appeared in their bedroom. Also, I'm not going to go all Disclosure Day explained on you, but I will talk about how odd it is that an alien species is revealing itself to Earth and decided the best way to do this is by scaring the shit out of a child with a sudden animal conference in their bedroom. I'm assuming they landed on this because they only had access to Disney movies while being locked in Area 51. If that's the case, Maggie should be grateful this encounter didn't end with them killing her parents. Listen, the deer turning into an alien is a beautiful shot. Top notch. Good shot. But if they can shapeshift into animals of different shapes and sizes like foxes and deers, how is the government and Wardex ever able to keep them hostage? Turn into a mouse and skitter away. Turn into a talking bald eagle, and most states would have elected them into office. I guess the alien definition of empathy includes kidnapping kids, terrifying the shit out of them, and then implanting superpowers in their brains that will only manifest 30 years later. I'd hate to see what their idea of harming us would be.
Whoa.
Huh? With all their advanced technology and ability to shapeshift into or possess animals, not to mention the ability to travel through space, did they really have to waste Coleman Domingo's time building this entire ass house to help with recovering those memories? Was that really a deal breaker? Nope, I don't care how much it complicates the plan. We need the f***ing house, Hugo. Timeshares on Alpha Viagra 2 are extortionate, and we need a place to summer when this shit blows over.
They found us.
Relying on having a man on watch at a side door to tell you this, instead of a f***ing camera, feels like an underestimation of the stakes. Rare footage of the devastating toll a missed cup of tea takes on an Englishman's constitution.
We won't make a sound. They can't see us.
Fellow alien brethren, this gadget that I've invented can do all sorts of magical things. It can read the minds of people. It can push your consciousness into someone else's brain across great distances and allow you to puppet them into doing your bidding. It can even hide dozens of life forms all at once in plain sight, but only visibly. You'll still be able to hear them. Noise canceling is witchcraft, and I will not abide it.
Everybody, stop moving.
Relying on your sense of hearing instead of the sense of that tablet that can track their heat signatures.
What's that?
The fact that Maggie insists on holding the alien gadget in front of her, allowing the goons to see its light, must be a commentary on women's clothing never having sufficient pockets. The tonal whiplash of this goons comically run into invisible things to a chirpy score is pulling so many G's that NASA is using it to train astronauts for re-entry.
Which one do we follow?
If only you had arrived in multiple vehicles saving you from this conundrum.
I'm going on air at the anchor desk to deliver a special report.
Okay.
Maggie has been given the power to sense a person's deepest trauma, but I'm not sure how that translates to, yes, mistress, I shall do what you say.
Control room? Why am I doing this?
Because someone assumed you asking this question would also double up as a satisfying explanation and then broke for an early lunch. Loving the drama of a finale so much that you bring a transfer device that can only upload 5 of these thumb drives at a time. Maggie uses the gadget to bring the station back online, and Noah decides to do nothing about it and kind of just sits back and lets it happen, as if he hasn't just spent an entire movie convincing us that the information she's about to share will categorically destroy humanity.
Okay, Cooper.
Oof, what a great way to end the movie. The news gets out, and people know what they need to know about all the things they didn't know about. Not much story left to tell here, really. Weird that there's 20 minutes of credits, though.
Since 1973, a non-governmental organization known as Wordex.
Oh, so we're going to get the whole news report. The news report summarizing all the things we just spent the last 2 hours and 6 minutes organically learning. Weird, I don't know that we've ever seen a movie for a news position finale. That's only news positioning news we already knew. Well, brave new world.
This is Disclosure Day.
Roll disclosures.
Did we verify this feed? Is it fake? Is it AI?
Valid question, which would likely lead to the feed being cut completely rather than risk the embarrassment of this being a hoax. This might have worked in the 1990s, but it's crazy to think this would be allowed in the misinformation age of the 2020s. I mean, some of these images are the definition of AI alien slop.
I'm sorry, I do not know what to say about this.
Well, you could start by saying it looks like the dead body of an alien is being carried away from a crash site. Since when does the news care about protecting feelings?
Unclear if this is an official government disclosure.
Is it? Seemed pretty clear to me that it's not coming from the government. Do you seriously think they'd drop a load of archival footage at a Kansas City affiliate station?
It's apparently another crash site.
If you'll learn just 2 things today, it's that we're not alone in the universe and these aliens suck at flying. It's not entirely clear why the alien is being stored in multiple different layers, other than this sucker loves a dramatic catwalk reveal. These f***ing assholes with their flashes on, creating so many goddamn reflections and glares that none of the other assholes with their flashes on will be able to see a damn thing. That's right, Spielberg has finally made an alien movie, huzzah! And if you're thinking, wait, he's already made plenty of alien movies, here's where you're wrong. E.T. was about childhood innocence, not aliens. Close Encounters was another retelling of Moby Dick. War of the Worlds was a movie about someone else's aliens. And Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that one actually was just about aliens. Anyway, this is his first good movie about aliens. What? This movie isn't about aliens at all? It's about accepting each other, no matter how different or alien our cultures seem, through empathy and active listening? It, guys. It can't just be Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Listen.
Forgetting that listening is only half the solution. I could listen all day, but if the person I'm listening to is full of and spouting hate, are they worth being listened to? Wait, is there a chance that the key to lasting world peace might not have a comfortable one-word answer? Heard!
You think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?